All right, you guys, so this is a video that I had to make. I saw something on Twitter that really upset me. And this is the video that, I'm sorry, it wasn't a video, it was a tweet. And this is a tweet that I saw. Honestly, I believe that these type of tweets, I don't agree. I completely disagree and disavow these type of division amongst the church. I wasn't trying to make another video, but it looks like I'm gonna have to because of tweets like this. Look, I respect the fact that there's different opinions of people. I respect the fact that there's different opinions when it comes to the church. Now, if you are focusing on saying that, if you're calling out a cop or you're calling out an immigration officer or a politician that abuses its power, then yes, I would definitely stand with you and I'll be like, you make a valid point. But to throw in the blanket and paint the brush on everybody, that automatically assumes because we believe in strong borders, it makes you a fake Christian, then that does not makes you a real Christian, first of all, because you're causing division. So what, I mean, first of all, God in the Bible supports borders. Nowhere in the Bible does God ever supports the fact that, oh, you know, it makes it seem that everybody can come wherever they want to. No, God supports borders, and I make a video already. I made 2 videos, in fact, about this. God specifically calls citizens in Israel countrymen, immigrants, sojourners. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word right, but sojourners. Sojourners. I don't know if I spelled it wrong, but I'm not a spelling bee champion. And they called people who are others, which they can mean illegal immigrants, as foreigners. The Bible clearly says that. But for some reason, they try to make it seem like if you're a Christian and you're supposed to support illegal immigration. No, that is law breaking. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have compassion for these people. If you want to show compassion for these people, then I'm all for it. But this tweet really brings division inside the church. And not only that, but this guy is clearly discouraging people. Oh, if if you love them as a missionary, first of all, if you have no love of Christ, you're not going to love them regardless. But why would you discourage people from going into a country where they can actually preach them, have the opportunity to preach them in the gospel, have the opportunity to make friends, to make relationship with these people in these poor countries in Latin America, where you can actually feed them, you give them food, you would spend time with them, and you will develop even a compassion side of you because you'll know how the type of conditions they live down the country. Why would you discourage people from going to Latin America so they can actually create friendships in Latin America? Here's the thing that I already said. God made us stewards, and God respects the idea of how we help our people. He trusts us with the ability to help our people. But I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you another. How many times do we say prayers to God and those prayers are not answered? Is it because God doesn't listen to us? Is it because God likes to delight himself in our misery? Or perhaps could it be because God's will is above our will? Because God knows what really is important to us, and God's ways are higher than us. God's ways are better than ours. Perhaps it's because he had something better in store. So why do leftist Christians believe that in order for you to fix poverty is for them to just bring them to America? What if God has a plan for Latin America that doesn't only include bringing them here? Why do people have this mindset? Now, I am not going to defend those Christians, I mean, that don't have the compassion for an illegal immigrant. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there is conservative Republicans that don't care about the illegal immigrant. I mean, regardless if they broke the law, God commands us to love them. But it doesn't mean that because we love them, that means that we cannot, stand for strong borders. So this is the video that I had to make. I had to bring awareness. I completely disagree with the narrative of what this guy did. It was just so divisive. Doesn't help the cause at all. It only brings more division, and this is not the type of love. And now here's the thing. it's actually kind of ironic of how you try to say that you don't have love for the illegal immigrants, yet you like to exclude Christians who believe in strong borders, who side with the president. I mean, no one, first of all, we have to understand that what's happening down in our border is a mess. And in order for you to be accepted as a refugee, you have to meet the criteria. You have to meet the stand for that. You know, the requirements for you to be considered a refugee. I'm sorry, but escaping poverty and escaping crime isn't enough. We have poverty and crime here in the U.S. What, are we just gonna burst into another country? Are we just gonna go to Switzerland because we're too poor in our country? There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of crime. So we're just gonna go to Switzerland? That's not how it works. So that's not a good requirement. And second of all, they're not rejecting all immigrants down at the border. Some of the immigrants are eligible to come here. Some of the people are eligible, depending of how corrupted the communities are and their law enforcement, that their lives are in danger. They could come here as seeking asylum. Not all of them, but the thing is that because it's so overwhelmed and it's so packed with many people that don't deserve to come in here, then a lot of them stay in those certain situations. Don't forget that it was Obama, not Trump, that built those cages. And I'm not saying that Obama did it for an ill intention. Maybe he did it because it was just overwhelmed with so many people there. So enough with this type of nonsense about, oh, you're not a Christian because you don't support open borders. Well, first of all, what about you? You call yourself a Christian and you're saying that, oh, you know, we have to accept people. Well, I mean, how many people? There's a huge homeless population in LA, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Have you opened a door for any of these homeless people? Would you like it if all of a sudden homeless people come into your house uninvited and they say, well, aren't you a Christian? I mean, here's the thing. I understand we need to help out everybody, and perhaps we should help out more than we could. Perhaps we need to help out more. But nowhere in the Bible does God ever support you demanding somebody to help you out. That is theft. So I hope you guys like what I said, and God bless you all. This is Ed Freezy. Please follow.